You're very welcome back to We Love Movies with me, Gordon Hayden. Joining me now is Andy McCarroll as we're going to take a look ahead to some of the must-see films which are coming our way in 2018. Now, a film I cannot wait to see. And the trailer has been doing the rounds online, and this film in particular did really well at Cannes. It won an award for Joaquin Phoenix as Best Actor and Best Screenplay for the film's director, Lynn Ramsey. The movie in question is You Were Never Really Here. And if you're listening to part one of the show, I was saying that critics are talking up as a cross between Taxi Driver and Drive. So they're two incredible movies. So to kind of get that sort of combo is a mouth-watering prospect. Andy, in terms of the plot for the film, Joaquin Phoenix, he looks like a haunted man, but he's a man on a mission.
Yeah, very much like you kind of said to it earlier. It looks very much like, the kind of the Ryan Gosling character in Drive mixed with Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. He's essentially this kind of one-man A-team who's hired by people who've been kidnapped as this kind of well-known paedophilia ring, and he's kind of hired to retrieve the girls from that. And he just looks like a kind of one-man wrecking crew. It looks absolutely fantastic. Like, Joaquin Phoenix isn't the first person you'd think to cast in a very much an action role, much the same way Liam Neeson was in the Taken series. He has the relaunch of Joaquin Phoenix as an action star. But it just looks so kind of dark 70s, kind of death wish thriller that they don't really make anymore. It's those mid-budget, really hardcore, point blank, that sort of film. Really, really looking forward to it. And, as you said, it won Best Actor for himself in Cannes, and Lynn Ramsey won the award for Best Screenplay. So it seems like there's a bit of substance to it as well, if it's winning screenplay awards as well as acting.
I'd highly recommend people to check out the trailer online. But in the meantime, here's just a little bit from it. The movie in question, if you missed the title, is You Were Never Really Here.
State Senator Albert Vato. His teenage daughter's missing.
What's the lead?
He got an anonymous text with an address.
I've heard of these places. They said you were brutal.
I can be.
I want you to hurt them.
Now, moving on, Andy, to a big blockbuster which is coming our way in 2018 is Steven Spielberg's adaptation of Ready Player One. There's been talk online. I haven't read the book, actually, but I know the book is obviously very popular. But people have said it's almost like a modern-day Willy Wonka. Would that be fair?
Yeah, again, they've used pure imagination in the trailer, and who he'd actually tried to cast in the Mark Rylance role. Mark Rylance plays this kind of owner of this fantasy world called the Oasis, and Spielberg had actually tried to get Gene Wilder to play that role before he passed away. Unfortunately, Gene Wilder wasn't able to do it. But I've read the book, and the book is very much this kind of mix of pop culture references. Like, anyone who's seen the trailer, you see like the orcs from Lord of the Rings, the DeLorean from Back to the Future, the Iron Giant plays a huge role in it. But a lot of it is very surface. There's not a hell of a lot of substance to it. I was very surprised. It's a perfect mix for Spielberg to do, but also it's something you would think he wouldn't be into. Like, there is references to Spielberg films in the book, which he's actually taken all out for the film to kind of not be too self-aggrandizing. I can see it doing well based on his name and based on, all the pop culture references. But if it's anything like the book, it's going to be very much it's a cool idea for 10, 15 minutes, but what else have you got?
Oh, no. I can tell you a bit of interesting trivia behind it, because even though Ty Sheridan is the main star of the film, it was between him and our very own Barry Keoghan for the main role in the movie. And unfortunately, it went to Ty as opposed to Barry. But then, mind you, Barry then got to work with Christopher Nolan on Dunkirk. There's another interesting little bit to this film as well, is that T.J. Miller, he has a role in it, and T.J. Miller, his whole personal life has come under scrutiny with the whole sexual misconduct side of things, which has really come to the surface, as we all know, in the last few months. Has anything emerged in terms of him being cut from the film, Andy?
No, they've kind of stood by him on this. The studio released a statement not too long after these came out, and of course it was the height of Kevin Spacey being replaced in All the Money in the World, and they said the film's pretty much locked for editing. He denies the allegations that are going on against him, and they're prepared to kind of stand by him rather than go back and reshoot. They said his character doesn't have an awfully big role in the film, which kind of makes me think that had there been a bigger role, or had there been a much more bigger deal made of this, they would have went back.
Right.
But based on that, they're sticking by him for the time being.
The same thing goes with Deadpool 2, because he's a small role in that, because he played Ryan Reynolds' best friend in the first film. Right, Andy, well, actually, just before we move on, here is just a little bit from the trailer to Ready Player One.
A whole virtual universe.
Let me take you on a trip around the world and back.
People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do.
And you won't have to wait to sit still.
But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Let me show you the world.
Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything.
Now, Andy, the last film we're going to take a look at in our 2018 movie preview is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Saw the teaser trailer, Andy, and it just looks more of the same.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I was kind of one of the few people. I wasn't mad on Jurassic World. The last film, I thought was very much, it tried to do what Star Wars did, even down to the trailer, the Jurassic Park theme and the slow piano. It was just kind of nostalgia fest of member berries as opposed to doing its own thing. This looks kind of the same as well. They're trying to get the dinosaurs off the island because a volcano is about to erupt. And it just there's nothing really grabbing me there. There's just kind of all these, cool shots of the T-Rex and things like that. But from a story perspective, it doesn't look great. What I will say, though, the kind of intriguing part for me is that it's been directed by J.A. Boyena, who done the Orphanage. And he said the trailer, pretty much all this happens in the first half an hour, and the rest of the film is him kind of doing like a very much more suspenseful film. He likened, the scene in the kitchen with the raptors. He said the next hour of the film is basically that, but for 60 minutes. So that kind of filled me with hope that they kind of thrown all the, the special effects money shots at the start and actually tried to make a personal, smaller Jurassic Park film. Again, this could just be talk, but that would be the one thing that would make me hold out hope.
Fingers crossed, yeah, because they need to shake it up a little bit. Here's the section now from the trailer to Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
These creatures were here before us. And if we're not careful, they're going to be here after.
Now, what has happened, Andy, over the years when it comes to a lot of trilogies, I'm thinking now just off the top of my head, like with the Pirates of the Caribbean, when it was just initially just a trilogy, and the Matrix trilogy, they take essentially one big story and they divide it into two for the part 2 and part 3 of the trilogy. Is the same thing happening here with Jurassic World?
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow, who wrote Jurassic World, the last film, he said this film kind of ends on a cliffhanger to lead into the third film. Now, this was kind of said before he was kicked off. He was supposed to direct the third Star Wars film, but was kicked off and replaced by J.J. Abrams. So I don't know how much of his, on the back of that, how much of his version of the story, how much of his ending is going to be staying and how much is going to be kept on. But from all accounts, he wrote most of the script for this film. So it's not a franchise that's going to go away anytime soon. I'm sure they're going to make a third part of this film. The first one made over $1 billion. It was one of I think it's 6th or 7th of the most successful films of all time, despite being fairly average. This, I imagine, is going to do the same, no matter how good or bad it is. And they're going to have spin-offs. There's going to be Jurassic World versus Entourage or whatever crossover they want to do.
The one thing that really does intrigue me about this Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is the fact that we're going to see Jeff Goldblum back. But his Dr. Hammond, I don't think he's going to have a very big role in it, though.
No, it sounds like from Jeff Goldblum's going to be just very much a cameo. The Malcolm character was seen in his book was seen in the first film, and he said himself, he goes, he's very much the garnish on this film as opposed to making any kind of real impact. Like he was even talking about, he's not sure if his part will even stay in the film. So if he's saying that, he's not going to be a prominent member of the cast, unfortunately. Which anyone who's seen him in Thor Ragnarok is like, the more Jeff Goldblum, the better.
Absolutely. You can't get enough of Al Goldblum. Andy McCarroll, thank you so much. Next week, we're going to take a look at some more movies coming our way in 2018. But until then, Andy McCarroll, we'll chat to you next week.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, Gordon.